So guys, this is the man whose wife is all over the place. He's beckoning on Nigerians to come to her help, that her husband has been kidnapped to speak against Fubara. So she said her husband has been under pressure to cook up stories, to cook up lies against Governor Fubara all this while, but he refused. So this man is the head of service under Fubara's government, a very close person to Fubara. Now the wife is testifying that her husband is being pressurized to testify against Fubara for what Fubara did not do, and her husband refused, saying instead of him to come out to testify against Fubara, it's better he resigns. So their agreement was, if the pressure is much, that he should resign, and the husband finally resigned. Now the husband was invited to Abuja. According to the woman, she said her husband called her and told her that he has been invited to Abuja, he's leaving for Abuja, and when he got to Abuja, he equally told the wife that, okay, I've arrived Abuja and all that. So the wife said she was surprised, people calling her to tell her that her husband granted media, he spoke to the media, and in that talk, he accused Fubara of so many things, and the woman has been all over the place. He's crying to Nigerians. Crying to Nigerians that her husband has been taken hostage, has been forced to speak against Fubara, has been, pressurized. Nigerians, what are we not going to see under the Tinubu's government? These are plans just to oust Fubara. Anyway, let me allow you to take a look at what this man said to the media. A man who vowed that he's not going to accept any offer to speak against Fubara, to cook up lies against Fubara. Now, he was now pressurized to this point that he boldly came out to make this statement that you are going to hear for yourself. Nigerians, we are in a total mess. If I tell you democracy is not dead in this country, then I'm lying. Just take a look for yourself.
This is a press briefing by my humble self, Dr. George Chimezie, FCA, MNI, immediate past head of service of Rivers State. My dear people of Rivers State, it is with humility and every sense of responsibility and a sense of patriotism that I stand to address you today as your former head of service and someone who served from my heart. You will recall that I was appointed as head of service by our suspended governor, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Grand Service of Rivers State. Let me also use this opportunity to appreciate him for giving me the opportunity to serve as head of service. With loads of misinformation on print and electronic media, I've chosen to put the records straight. I was not sacked. Neither was I pressured to resign. I did so willingly from the depth of my heart. However, as an insider and a key player in the administration, and by my position, who worked closely with the suspended governor, it would be unfair for me to keep mute or for me not to address some key factors that have affected or that will affect our state if we continue on this trajectory. And I pause to say that good men must talk so that things will put right. I want to use this medium to thank Mr. President for a swift intervention in Rivers State crisis, especially on the declaration of the state of emergency that was declared and assented to by our National Assembly. You will recall that when the governor was suspended, as head of service, I was the next in command, so I'm not speaking as an outsider or as a novice. I'm speaking as an insider and as someone that has much information. If not for the intervention of Mr. President, Nigeria would have faced the worst economic sabotage and Rivers State would have been in flames, and by extension, other neighboring states, because of the level of insider destruction that I saw. First, it all started with the State House of Assembly, where the governor, Fubara, directed his chief of staff to burn down the assembly in a way to avert the suspected impeachment. That evening, Edison was in Government House with many of his boys, including the former chairman of Obiakpo, one Mr. Chijoke Ihunwo. I was there with them when a bag of money was handed over to Edison for that operation, though I did not actually know what it was meant for or the amount inside. I want to tell Rivers people today, the House Assembly was complex. In Moscow Road was clearly brought down by the door of Edison and some of his cohorts. Under the instruction of the sitting governor then, I challenged them to an open confrontation, and this will make us to throw more light on this. A day after that incident, I almost resigned, but I was very scared because I know the power of a sitting governor, and he knew that I'm aware of the whole plan and that I am discomforted with the unconscionable acts and deliberate posture of innocence and mien of a sheep. Another attempt was also made to destroy the residential quarters of the House Assembly members, if not for the press conference that was made there by Rivers youths, Rivers elders, and National Assembly members. That would have been another barbaric demolition in Rivers State. I came to realize that they actually wanted to demolish that second building because after some weeks, the governor personally told me, a couple of others, that he knew that if he knew early, he would have gone to pull down their hall before visiting the residential quarters of the assembly, and that he didn't actually know what they had, that they had such a beautiful hall where they are using now for sitting. I was so shocked, really shocked. And I asked myself, how could a man that wants to lead his people be destroying his state's assets and wasting public funds in a needless ego fight? Thirdly, I want to advise some key stakeholders who have condemned the state of emergency made by the President and confirmed by National Assembly to retract their statements. They are speaking from points of ignorance. I also understand that they are only seeing the surface. Yes. If they had knowledge, they will even be commending Mr. President even openly. If the President did not take proactive steps, no one knows who would have been affected by the sinister plans that we are cooking. While I thank Mr. President for the state of emergency that was declared in Rivers State for a period of 6 months, I will plead with him not to give up on Rivers State affairs, because a lot is going on there with Governor Fubara. One of the factors that got me removed was when Governor Fubara told me that they will use the judge to decide who will become the next president of Nigeria. And I asked him, how will that work? Is it by votes or by what means? I'm still worried. He clearly told me that he is the chief security officer of Rivers State and his brother is in charge of Bayelsa State. And all the pipelines are under their care, that at the appropriate time, they will tell the boys what to do, and fund was not an issue at all. That was when he made that statement in his public function, that, and I quote, I will tell the boys what to do at the appropriate time. Deep down in me, I knew that something was up, and perhaps the time was near. He boasted to be the David that would bring down the Goliath of Rivers State, that he has the backing of the creme de la creme in the state, the likes of our former governor, Dr. Peter Odele, and family promised to use their contacts in the judiciary, including some members of the University Council, to break new grounds for him. The plan was to start from Ijaw-speaking areas to destroy oil facilities, to remove attention from the Ijaw and make it have a statewide look. The Goni, Oyibo, and other areas were to be bombed first before the Ijaw zones. This would have brought down the government of President Tinubu and usher in a new president from the coalition of political parties with a vice president, possibly himself, as he was to. The media was recaptured by paying heavily for airtime and retaining the social media influencers and known social critics in their payroll. I'm not aware of what this revelation means, but I'm doing this to free my conscience and warn those innocent persons that are used to sway public sentiment that there is more than meets the eyes in the reverse matter. Sometime I sleep over in government house, it has started becoming very uncomfortable when Governor Bala Muhammad and some other stakeholders started several natural visits to Rivers State. I recall that one of such visits, he told me that he would support Bala Muhammad for president or any other northerner. That discussion is still ongoing, I'm pretty sure. Though I was not bothered about who he supports or not, I was more concerned about the quantum of state resources that were being released to these visitors at each of those unwanted visits. Let me draw the attention of Nigeria Labour Congress to call the chairman of their Rivers State chapter to order to avoid politicizing labor. I am privy to several private meetings between the governor and the labor leaders in the state, and largesse that accompanied each meeting to compromise the labor union. And I was to ask, why? What is actually the benefits to get from all this unnecessary destruction? More worrisome is several meetings between the governor, his chief of staff, and some militant leaders. Details of these meetings I'm not privy to, since I was not allowed into such meetings. However, each meeting ended with huge sums of money paid attendees in hard currency. I wish to state categorically that Rivers people are indeed Nigerians are the beneficiary of the declaration of state of emergency rule in Rivers State, and not Governor Fubara. Neither is it our former minister, Chief Nelson Wike. Finally, I wish to call on Mr. President to urge the civil administrator to step up his guards and be very vigilant, because I am aware of the sinister arrangements and dastardly plans to continue to hatch their plans if not put in check. This accounts for the organized media condemnations and seeming public outcry against Mr. President and National Assembly. Those who love democracy, those who love Rivers State, those who love development in any ramification, and those who love humanity in general will always protect humanity and democracy. Mr. President, sir, you have just protected democracy and humanity in Rivers State. You are our hero in Rivers State. Thank you, sir. I can now sleep having cleared my conscience. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live Rivers State. This is personally signed by me, Dr. George Chimeze Nweke, FCA, MNI, former head of service of Rivers State. Thank you and God bless you.
So guys, you can see what we are up to in today's Nigeria. Tinubu's government can do anything to do anything. I mean, Tinubu's government is out. He's out to destroy democracy, you know. Under Tinubu and Wike, Nigeria is now totally down. So they are just looking for a loophole. Initially, they said Fubara didn't do anything when pipelines were being broken. You know, they said Fubara didn't do anything when it is not even Fubara's duty. Fubara is not the chief security officer of this country. Neither is he the one for Rivers State. They now shifted the blame to Fubara. And now people have started talking about why should Fubara be blamed. The government is now realizing, oh, we don't have a point here. We don't have a point. Then how can we then come up to cook something against him? Now, this man came out to say, hey, Fubara did this, Fubara did that. This is somebody that initially discussed with the wife that, you know, that they will not bow to the pressure. You know, that they won't bow. That instead of him to testify against, testify is not even as if you are coming to say, yes, he did it because you saw him doing it. I mean, instead of him to cook up stories against Fubara, he said he was not going to do it. But you can see the level to which these people can gag a man, a woman, to come out to say things you never knew, as if you were hypnotized, as if you were taken to another realm and you began to say things that you were not even conscious of. That's the level to which Nigeria has gone down. So guys, it's really so sad that under Tinubu's government, Nigeria is gone. I mean, finally under Tinubu's government, under Tinubu's leadership, because they are looking for a ground on which to hold Fubara accountable and to tell United Nations, to tell the whole world that this is what Fubara did and this is why. Well, no matter the excuse they are giving, the Constitution says Tinubu has got no power to remove Fubara. You know, Tinubu has got no power to remove Fubara. And that is why they are looking for allegations. Anyway, I'm so happy that the wife is standing up. You know, she's testifying, saying, how did you come about this? Were you forced? Were you taken hostage? How did you come about testifying against a man that you vowed that you, no matter the pressure, you won't lie against Fubara? Anyway, guys, that is it. Let me know what you think about today's Nigeria under Tinubu and Wike, today's Nigeria. If not that Wike is from the south and Tinubu is equally from the south, I would have said, okay, if Tinubu says he wants to run in 2027, maybe Wike can equally be his vice presidential candidate, so that if they use INEC to rig themselves, you know, into those positions, they will just totally crush Nigeria. Because guess what? These people don't think about their actions, but guess what? Nigerians are following them bomber to bomber. Nice that the wife has come out to testify. Let me know your thought about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.